What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and sorry for the late upload, but I really had to go through this entire update because, man, there was a lot of content and things I need to go over before I made this video. I also want to start off this video by making an apology to all of you because in the last video, I put up a picture of the dimensional invitation tickets showing that we would probably be able to combine regular memories for BS and SS memories, and that is just not the case. And, you know, that information really came from a very reliable source, someone that's been in the community even before the global release of this game, someone that's always been, you know, very on the mark when it comes to these kinds of things, and said that that was officially data mined, but lo and behold, we found out that was false. So I do want to apologize for that because I never want to mislead anybody. And I can tell you in the future, from now on, anytime I see any kind of data mine information, I'm going to be doing a lot of research on it to make sure that it is legit, because we do know that it was fake. And we'll get to talking about the combining memories for SS characters here in a little bit. So let's go over everything that we've gotten in the game. So the first thing that we got is this check-in login event where we can actually get these skill level up cards. This is fine, right? You know, you're going to be able to get is a selection box for 10, which is fine. Not too bad, right? No big deal. Then we have the carnival. Now, the carnival is a bit of a letdown because we were all hoping this was going to have an SS memory. So, you know, I have a couple complaints about it. The one is it's only going to last 6 days in total. This is a complaint I always have with these carnivals. They really should be longer, and you're going to have to use your battle cards to get some points for this. And do not transcend any battle cards right now, because when you do transcend your battle cards, you're going to be getting rid of your battle cards, and you're going to be losing those points where maybe you might want to combine. We'll talk a little bit more about that here in a second, but I do wish this lasted longer, and I do wish we had something other than the card selector. However, it is a good card selector. I mean, you can choose a Serena card. I mean, these are OP. These are OP for Guild Raid and Spider Robot. These are seriously OP for them. And then you got an OP PvP set for certain characters in the game. So, I mean, it's not terrible. It's actually pretty decent. I think we would all prefer an SS memory, but it is what it is. And then they're going to give us a little bonus here where we get a Fest memory selector, which is fine. The next thing we have is the super mission where we can actually get imprint stones. This is pretty much run-of-the-mill typical thing that they usually do. We're going to be able to get, you know, a selection box here. And, you know, in my opinion, I always tell you guys that you should really go for these PG rate stones. Those are going to be the cream of the crop, really, for most characters. I mean, the recovery stones could be good for a blue character, for a Mortal Vulcan if they don't have a heal, like this one right here, or this one right here. Although this one here actually takes the place of the PG stone. Maybe you prefer to have the PG stone on your character. And this stone here is actually pretty good for damage. Those are usually the best stones that people would like to choose from them, but the PG rate stone is the big dog out of there. Then we have the rush event. Now, the rush events are always nice because we're going to be able to get rubies every single day. We can get 50 rubies a day from this, and then in the shop, you know, we got, you know, the Fest memory mystery boxes. We have the imprint stone mystery boxes, gold selection box, but the gold hammers, the experience bottles, the attack capsules, these are all really, really nice. Something that you should be farming every day. Just make sure that you have, you know, if you have SSK and SS Kula, Nameless, Angel, Maximus, Sylvia, you know, have these card sets equipped on those characters. So that way you can increase the amount of coin gain you get. So that way you can get more SS coins in order to get everything from the coin shop. So nothing really too special, but I mean, you can get some all-star souls, kind of run-of-the-mill. I imagine whenever we clear the chapter 1 stage, the 3rd stage, all the way to the right where we need 26,000 CP, it's going to give us some more rubies. So we'll probably end up getting about 100 rubies a day, which is pretty decent. It's not too bad at all. Then we have the Transcending battle cards. Now, I actually went ahead, I might end up making a separate video about this issue here, or this new setup we got going on. But the Transcending battle cards, I already transcended one battle card completely. You can take these all the way up to 6 red stars. You can take them up to level 60, and they do add a pretty insane amount of CP. This card originally had about 1100 CP, now it has 1700 CP. And whenever you put that on a character that has an insane amount of CP, it's just going to be a massive CP multiplier. It's going to really, really increase your damage. A quick tip for all of you is that whenever you do decide to transcend these things, you can actually put your finger on this little question mark here, and you can see all the available dots. this is the thing that's going to suck about this. There's a lot of RNG involved in this, and you're probably going to want to transcend battle cards that are going to be universal for multiple characters, because you don't know if you're going to get one that has attack type fighter shock damage. You don't know if you're going to get, you know, like a defensive fighter bleed damage. You don't know which one of these typings you're going to get or what kind of dot you're going to get. Like in my case right here, I leveled up this SS card, and as far as the actual stats from it, the skill enhance here, you get the increased attack by 30% for 5 seconds and grant super armor for 2 seconds when a special signature fighter tags in. Well, if I really want to get all the benefits from this card, then, you know, whoever I have it equipped to, I want to make sure they have the same kind of dot. So in Kyo's case, I'd either want Burn or Starlight, which I don't have. You know, I do have Darkness increased damage on this, but that's only going to apply to Iori, who's a balanced type. So you're really not, like, you got to be really careful about which cards you're going to transcend. And again, I'll probably end up making another video about it. It's a lot of RNG, guys, and whenever you do level up to level 7 and you start leveling up even more, you can keep re-rolling and changing stats. But this is going to be a piece of advice I'm going to give you all right now. Don't transcend any cards until you finish the carnival first, unless you're not really worried about getting all those rewards and resources in the carnival. If you're not worried about it, then who cares? Go ahead and transcend whatever you want. But if you want everything in that carnival, you should absolutely use all of your battle card summon tickets, everything that you have to get battle cards, get as many battle cards you can, try to get as many points as possible. Try to finish that carnival if you're trying to get that card selector. And if you don't care about it, go ahead and transcend your cards. But I will make a further video about this subject. Then the next thing is combining SS memories. And this is a bum deal, my friends, because you can only use, at least so far from what I've seen, SS memories. Now, here's the thing about this. You need 7 memories to take a character all the way up to 5-star to get him up to level 50. Now, it was data mined not too long ago that we're going to get, you know, up to level 10. These characters are going to need a whole lot more memories than just 7 memories in the future. So, fair warning to all of you, if you start using your SS memories right now, you might screw yourself in the future. And that's what I don't like about this. I also don't like the fact that you have to use SS memories to do this. This is just, I mean, if you're a whale or, you know, and you got a lot of extra memories, I guess it'd be okay for you. But for most players, this is going to be pretty much useless if all we can apply is SS memories. And as of right now, that's the only ones I know that can actually work here to get you an SS memory, which is a real big bummer. So that was a big letdown, especially after having that hope from that data mine information that ended up being fake. Then we have the epic quest. Now this is a shining light of this update. I've actually already cleared the first one. You guys saw that I had Maximus there, and it's really not too difficult. It's just going to be a matter of having CP. I didn't do any buffs or anything like that. I just flew through it, used BS Quizlet, Rugal, my 5-star characters, and just plowed through it. But the thing that I want to point out to you guys is this is pretty sick. So you can actually get a bunch of rubies from this thing with your low cost characters, cost 60, 59, 56, 54, 50, 45. That is amazing, my friends. I'm really glad that they put rubies in here, and they're actually going to give you, you know, all the option cards that you're going to need to get through the epic quest. They're going to give you all those 3 PGs that you're going to need. They're going to give you all, you know, all these souls, everything, which is awesome. And the other beautiful thing about this is you're going to be able to farm for your BS characters. Now check this out. So if we go to the exchange shop, we hit always and we go all the way to the bottom, you're going to be able to get these coins, or episode 2 coins, from the epic quest, right? Well, you can actually farm 1 BS memory per month, whether it's Maximus, Zero, or Ignatz. And then you can also farm, and this is RNG based, imprint stones for those characters. And the imprint stones, like I said, you know, you can only do 2 of these a month. So, you know, when I click on this one here and I buy 2 of them, I have to wait an entire month before I can do it again, which is unfortunate. But, you know, they want to make sure it's difficult to do this. I mean, these are BS characters. And to be, you know, fully transparent with you guys, I haven't even looked at their kits yet because there was just so much I had to go through as far as this update is concerned. But I think it's absolutely fantastic that we can farm for these memories, even if it's just 1 BS memory a month. And you could do 3 of these memories each month, because you could do 1 for Maximus, you could do 1 for Zero, you could do 1 for Ignatz, and farm as many as possible. I'm not exactly sure how many coins you can farm up in a day or a week. I haven't done any of that kind of figuring yet, but I do think it's awesome that they haven't made it available to us to be able to farm for these characters. This is spectacular. You're going to get 3 PGs for them. You're going to be able to get these characters. You're going to be able to get imprint stones for them. And yeah, it's an RNG crapshoot as far as the imprint stones, but you get a 20% chance of getting the stone that you want. So it's not too bad. It really isn't. I mean, not bad at all. I mean, you got Moonstar, you got Star Shaped, and like I said, you got a 20% chance of getting the stone that you want, which is pretty sweet. We'll talk about all the effects of the stones in another video. I'm kind of rushing and just kind of brushing over everything and just giving you guys my thoughts about this update, but this is insane and this is just amazing. And I want to give a big shout out to Netmarble for this one. I'm so happy that they made these characters farmable. It's so freaking sweet, guys. Like, seriously, it is dope. The next thing is the SS characters. So we got K and Kula, and we'll take a look at their card sets first. So we got this new card set right here, which increased the attack by 21% with all 3 cards combined. And then it increased the special signature fighter burn and chill damage by 75%, and increased the damage by 20% for 5 seconds with SS fighter lands an active skill. It's going to be a pretty OP set. It's going to be very, very strong, very, very powerful. It's going to make your SS characters quite strong, you know, and the burn and chill is really going to work really well on Kyo, of course, and K and Kula. And actually, Iori's got burn on his default. So, I mean, those characters can really benefit from this. And it's pretty sick, guys. It really is pretty nice set. And then you have the option card here, which increases attack, decreases skill cooldown. And then it also gives a critical rate by 7%. This is going to add quite a bit of CP. Really going to be a nice option card for that. And then we have the 3 PGs. And this is pretty wild, especially when you start looking at these characters' kits. So K's 3PG actually deals an additional burn damage equal to 200% of attack upon landing the 3PG. That's a lot, guys. Extra 200% damage is nuts. Oh, and those 3PGs are insanely long. And then Kula's does the same thing, except it's 200% extra chill damage, which is nuts. Well, it deals an additional chill damage equal to 200% of attack, which is amazing, guys. That is just nuts. Oh. And then you go into the characters, and we'll start off with K. K is a red balance. He increases All-Star Fighters' attack by 55%, decreases HP by 5%. Amazing leadership because he's going to buff all the All-Star Fighters. All your BS, all your SS, and all the AS Fighters, which is amazing. Our strongest characters in the game are BS and SS, and the fact that he buffs all of them is amazing, guys. That is sweet. And then when you look at his core, he's got 30% PG rate, which is staple amongst SS and BS characters, at least for most of them. You got a crit rate increase, which is very important in his kit because he also has increased damage by 24% on a critical hit. That is a lot. That's a lot of extra damage for this character. And then he decreased the cooldowns of active skills by 0.4 seconds upon landing a skill on a burn target. So he's going to be decreasing his skill cooldowns, and then he increases his burn damage by 90% when Kula is on the team. So they've done like this synergistic thing similar to what they did with Kyo and Iori, and I really like it. I'm really happy that they've done this kind of thing because they got them both integrated together in their 3PG, and then they also have done this effect, which is pretty cool. And then this is another sweet thing about them. Cast a shield that absorbs damage by 7% upon using an active skill and removes the shield after being attacked 20 times. So once you use your active skill, you're going to open up that shield, which is amazing. So like you could actually be playing this character and you could, like, if you're really good at dodging and you're playing in PvP, you could dodge someone's attacks. And then when you think they're going to land something on you, you go ahead and hit your skill and the shield will pop up. And you're not going to take any damage during that 7 seconds unless they do over 20 hits. And then the SS fighters, both Kula and K, gain power when they're in a guard stance, and then they got a decreased damage received by 70% for 3 seconds when the accumulated attacks received, guard included, reaches 5 times. So when they're hit 5 times, they're actually going to decrease damage received by 70% for 3 seconds on a 20-second cooldown, which is going to make them a lot tankier. That is sweet. So this is where it gets really, really wild. So K's first skill is a strike skill, and it is a hyper armor skill. Can be used while being attacked, limited to when you're airborne. So when he's up in the air or someone's got to hold him with a grab, he can actually use this skill to get out of it. But here's the cool thing about this thing. When you use the Iron Trigger EX, the second knuckle activates automatically upon landing the Iron Trigger. So when you do the Hyper Armor skill and you land it, then this skill is going to pop up. And what this does is you got the increased penetration by 1400 by 7 seconds. You got a 70% chance to reset the cooldown of Iron Trigger upon landing a skill, which is a pretty high chance of resetting the skill. And then once you use this skill, then Using skill buttons after using Iron Trigger, EX will activate the second shoot. So I mean, it's like you got this combination of skills involved in one skill. It's sick. And then the second shoot actually gives him an attack buff, which is going to be very important for him. And this gets really good. And then applies Infernal Flame, deals damage equal to whatever percent. And then it decreases the critical rate and defenses by 30%. And here's the biggest part right here. Inflicts damage equal to 400% of attack to an enemy. So not only does he have the 200% extra damage from the 3PG, right? He's got the inflict damage equal to 400% of attack to an enemy. So it's going to be really, really important to use this first skill optimally in order to get the most damage out of this character. This is bonko. This is bonk. Oh, my friend. I think he's going to be super insane to play. And then his second skill gives him a stun for 3 seconds upon landing a skill, guard included. So you don't want to be guarding against this unless you have stun immunity. And then it increases target damage received by 26%. So you got the extra critical damage bump, you got all the extra damage from the 3PG, and then from the first skill, you got the increased target damage received by 26%. Just nuts, guys. And then his third skill deals more burn damage. He has dot explosion. He has dot explosion on the third skill. Oh my god. I didn't even see that earlier. And then it has a 60% chance to remove the target's super armor or hyper armor, so you can remove their buff, well, at least the hyper armor and super armor, which is just nuts, man. That is crazy. He's going to be a powerful character, guys. Seriously. Just over the top. I'm calling it right now. Going to be probably the new burn meta, more than likely. So let's take a look at his skills. This is just crazy. This is crazy. Wow. So here we have the Iron Trigger. Nice. 6 skill. Right? It's just nuts. Woo! Woo! That's a cool skill, man. That's a cool skill. He just teleports right through them. Oh. I like it. And then we get into his default. Now watch his default. Look at this. Now I don't think this is going to cancel on World Dungeon. I think this is going to play out. That's a pretty damn long skill. That's a pretty damn long skill. And then you go into the 3PG, which is fantastic. This thing is absolutely beautiful. I don't know if you guys noticed, but Kula's hair was one color and then it changed, which is pretty sick. Wow. And I haven't even talked about how good these characters look aesthetically. Like, K looks freaking sick, man. Look at those eyes. Look at the way he's looking at you. It's sick. You got the wolf background. Oh my god. And then we get into Kula, who's a blue defensive fighter, and she's got an increased attack of all fighters by 45%. So she actually buffs all the fighters in the game. And then she also has 30% PG rate. She's also got a nice increased damage by 18% on a critical hit. Very important for her. Increased chill damage. And then decreased cooldown on the back of skills by 0.3 seconds upon landing on a chilled target. So that's similar to K. And then increased chill damage by 120%. Wow. When K is on the team. So once again, they're doing that synergistic thing between those characters. And then she casts a shield, and the same as K, whenever you use a skill, and then it's removed after you're attacked 20 times. And then, of course, the same SS passive. And look at her hair, guys. Like, isn't that cool? Oh, come on now. That is a nice touch that Netmarble did. Shout out to Netmarble for that one. And then we get into this wacky changing skill thing. So when you hit the skill, you got the gain hyper armor and gain hyper armor. And then it's the same limited when airborne, just like K. And then after you use it, you get increased penetration by 1500. That is insane, guys. Along with all these buffs, the increased penetration is very strong. And then it has a 70% chance to reset the cooldown of Lace Spin, which is wild. And then you can go into the inflict damage equal to 394% of attack to an enemy. Jesus. And then you use to apply cold spell to the enemies. Deal damage equal to 30% of attack every 1 second. Wow. And then increases attack by 50% of defenses for 7 seconds when using skills. So it's got a nice self-buffing thing going on. It's going to be very important to play her correctly. So you get all those extra buffs and get that increased damage. And then her second skill inflicts damage or increases target damage received by 30%, which is massive. And then freezes the enemy upon landing a skill. So the fact that she's going to be able to freeze enemies instantly is going to be very, very powerful. These characters are going to be insane in Immortal Dungeons. I don't think I really need to even say that at this point. And then the third skill has dot explosion. She's got a powerful dot explosion. Deals chill damage equal to 2.6 times the remaining chill damage. Wow. And then she has a 50% chance to remove the target's super armor and hyper armor. And I think that's about it on there. Yeah, that's crazy, guys. And then her default deals chill damage. So her default actually does chill damage. Wow. Very, very cool. Let's check it out. And I know this is a long video, man. There's a lot to talk about here. Sick. Ooh. I like that skill. And there's a lot of lingering damage after she does that skill. Oh, crap. I hit the wrong one. My bad. There's a lot of lingering damage there. That's going to be pretty vicious. Then we look at her default. Nice. I really love her default. I think that is sick. And then her 3PG. Her hair is blue the whole time here. Look at how long this skill is. It's sick, my friends. It's sick. It is sick. Jesus Christ. It's just insane. Oh my God. Freaking nuts. And I really love that what they did with the hair thing. That is just a nice touch that they did with this character. I mean, Kula and K are going to be insane, my friends. They're going to be nuts. And their 3PGs will work on the original versions of the characters, just so all you know that. They are going to be bonk. Oh, my friends. And then we got to go in the codex and we got to take a look at the BS characters here. So we got 3 BS characters. We got Maxima here, who obtains 6% power when a Nest Fighter defeats an enemy. Okay. Core effect, grab skill. He's got a damage increase on his critical hits, which is nice. He got 20% PG rate. He gains super armor for 3 seconds when attacked. 100% chance to reset cooldowns of active skills when using an ultimate move. So after he does an ultimate move, he's going to reset all of his skills, like Iori. And then increases damage by 70% for 5 seconds if the target's HP is 50% or higher upon landing an attack. And then Boss Syndrome gains power when he's in guarding. And PvP exclusive gains super armor for 3 seconds when accumulated attack received reaches 5 times. Okay. And I mean, after you look at K and Kula, then you look at these guys, you're thinking, oh, okay, it's not as good. It's still good, but it's not as good. But we have inflict damage equals 758% of attack to an enemy, and then increase attack by 50% of defenses for 7 seconds when using a skill. Okay. He's a balanced type fighter, so he's going to benefit quite a bit from that. He's going to be running a K set really to bump his damage up. And then he has used to increase attack by, he's got an attack buff on his second skill, PvP exclusive, disable the target's active skills for 4 seconds upon landing a skill. So he could be pretty annoying in PvP. And then his third skill, he does have hyper armor. It does have an interrupt skill only while you're standing, so your feet have to be on the ground in a standing position in order for this to work. And then the PvP exclusive removes buffs from the target's active skills upon landing a skill. Very powerful. And then his default, all teamers maintain 50% power upon use. Okay. So let's take a look at his skills. Let's see how this guy looks. Okay. All right. Nice. That's a pretty fast skill. That's pretty fast. That's a grab, so that'll get canceled in the Immortal Dungeons. And then kind of reminds you of Iron Man, doesn't it? All right, that was pretty cool. All right. Something tells me, like these characters are going to be strong, they're going to be good, but they're probably not going to be as good as the characters, that we're going to be pulling in our banners. I mean, it just wouldn't make sense if they were, since these characters are farmable. But Zero here has a great leadership, increased Nest Fighter attack by 45% and PG rate by 20%, which is awesome. And then he increased Dark attack by 30%, increased the damage by 30% on a critical hit. He's got the PG rate. He's got a heal on him, that's nice, man. He's got a heal. And then he resets skill cooldown of ST Glugan EX upon landing an attack on a stunned target. Resets skill cooldown of the same thing on a landing attack on a target in darkness. Okay, nice. And then increased active skill damage dealt to enemies affected by darkness. And then he's got the game power passive. I know I'm really kind of quickly brushing over this, guys, but this video really is long. He does have hyper armor. He's got an interrupt skill only while you're standing. Then he stuns. He's got an increased target damage by 26%, which is dope. That is awesome. And then he's got an attack buff. He's just got an attack buff. It's not based off his defense. It's an increased attack. And then he does deal darkness damage, which is awesome. And then the PvP exclusive, 60% chance to remove the super armor and hyper armor. And then, oh, that's about it. Let's take a look at his skills. It's like, that's kind of weird, right? Like, his lion is very, very slow. It's a cool looking skill, but it's really slow. Okay, there's that stun. That's pretty cool. I like that. Yes, what we've come to expect from Zero. He does look awesome, though. I don't know why I'm watching this. I just want to, I guess. All right. Let's take a look at his 3PG. Oh, I like it. Okay, fairly long skill. Fairly long. Not too bad. Not too shabby. Let's look at this one here real quick. Oh, that's just his 3PG they had before. Nice. All right. And then we have Ignis, who's a yellow attack. He increased Nest Fighter attack by 60%, so great leadership for Nest Fighters. And then he's got 30% PG rate. He's got increased damage on a critical hit, which is awesome, especially for an attack fighter. He's got increased critical rate buff, which is going to help us critical damage bump. Cast a shield. Oh, he's got a shield. Ooh. So he casts a shield that absorbs damage for 7 seconds, blah, blah, blah. We already know this. That is nice, and that's when he lands an active skill. So you got to land your skill in order for this shield to show up. You don't just use your skill. And then he has a PvP exclusive, disable active skills, disable the attacker's active skills for 4 seconds when attacked, and then increase active skill damage dealt to enemies affected by darkness or starlight by 60%. Wow. His first skill, 30% chance to reset it. He's got an attack buff on it. He applies darkness with this skill, which is dope. And then his second skill, decreased damage received by 85%, and he deals starlight damage on it. Is there anything else? No. That's pretty awesome. Wait a minute. Let me look at something. I think I missed something. And increased damage received by 15%. Okay, that's nice. And then his third skill, inflict or gains hyper armor, super armor. That's sweet. Along with that decreased damage received that's got, and the shield. I mean, it's probably going to be really good. Actually, he looked like a very good solid character. I think, just from looking at these skills, he's probably going to be the best amongst the three. And he is the final boss in the epic quest, so that kind of makes sense. And then he has a 60% chance to remove the target super armor and hyper armor. And he does have an interrupt skill on it. Wow. Interesting. Let's take a look at him. Definitely going to be strong. Okay, it's a little slow, but it does apply that darkness. It'll be awesome if his default can actually interrupt geese. I don't know if it will or not. Oh, that's cool. It's freaking sick. Now, that's a sick freaking 3PG. I want to watch that again. That's pretty damn sick, I gotta say. I do like this. Wow. Beautiful, boy. Beautiful. Oh, that is awesome. Me freaking likey. Okay. Ignis, I think he's going to probably be the best out of the BS characters. But we'll see. But, I mean, as far as what I'm seeing, I would say for sure. So, I mean, so I know there's some things I haven't covered. I haven't talked about SSMI. I haven't talked about Athena. I haven't talked about the card set Athena. I haven't talked about the 3PG effects on the BS characters. But I mean, this video has already been way too long as it is. There's just so much to go over. All in all, I think it's a really great update. I think the SS memory combined is kind of a whatever thing. I think the carnival, I wish it would have lasted a little bit longer. The transcending cards, I mean, you're going to have to be very careful about what card to transcend. And I will probably make a future video about that and further my opinion about all these things that we got going on. But the epic quest really is the shining light of this update, and the SS characters do look absolutely insane. So let me know how y'all feeling about this update, and I will be live streaming my pulls tonight on Twitch at 9 p.m. GMT plus 7 time. The link will be in the description below, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See ya.